Okay, mate, tell us about your first signing.
Yeah, pretty exciting news. We've signed Brooke Johnson, graduate of UNLV, currently playing in Sweden professionally. She's a 183 centimetre or 6 foot guard, primarily point guard, but has the ability to play anywhere up to the 4 spot in our league. Provides us with really great flexibility in terms of the positioning that she can play, but really great defender, has the ability to create for her teammates as well as get her own shot. She's a perennial 35 to 40% 3-point shooter pretty much everywhere she's been, which is obviously a really important skill in today's game. And averages 3 to 4 assists a game as well. So really ticks all the boxes in terms of what we're looking for in our import player. And just the ability to, I guess, lock down on that taller, more athletic wing player or even a post player really gives us some flexibility. So really pleased and excited with that, and can't wait for her to get here.
There's obviously millions of basketball players around the world. How does the process work? I guess do you get inundated with tapes of potential imports, I guess, and you whittle it down? Is that how it sort of goes?
Yeah, so it's a bit of both. I guess agents will make contact when they've got a player available. We've also got to do the research ourselves and try and find some, and that's the case here. So there's obviously a pretty extensive search, and we've taken our time with it in terms of both international players and players from the WNBL. But as I said, we've taken our time to make sure that we get the right player that fits our culture and the skill set that we're looking for. But as you say, there's lots of players to look at, and that does take time. But I'm pleased that we've really taken that time to get the right player and not just sign someone because we were nervous about getting a team on the floor. So yeah, really excited with the signing that we've made, and can't wait to get started.
Last season was obviously a tough one for the program. How much is it a reset? You've pretty much gone back to square one kind of thing? Or?
Yeah, kind of. So yeah, obviously I recognise that it was a difficult season for the group last year, and I guess from day one our focus has been, I guess, to reset the culture and bring it back to some accountability and hard work, I guess, is the crux of it. And pleasingly, the girls have really taken to that from day one. We're a really young group at the moment. I think we sat down and worked out over the weekend that our average age is 20. So we've got one player in their 30s, 2 players in their 20s, and the rest are under the age of 20. So if you take that oldest player out, it goes back down to an average age of 18. So that's really exciting, but we also recognise that we've got a lot of work to do in terms of getting their bodies and their skill set right to a level where they can compete consistently at this level. And I guess that's the important part of bringing those import players in, to not only give us some legitimacy in terms of skill set, but to protect those younger players as we develop them. So, yeah.
Do you know how many from last year's squad will be in this year's squad?
The vast majority of the squad from last year have returned. So I guess to clarify the situation with that, no one from last year's team has been cut or told that they're not welcome. And essentially most of the players from last year have taken up the option to come along and play. So the door is and was always open to every player on that list to come back and put their hand up to be a part of the program. I guess for me, my position has been that I wasn't going out to chase anyone, and if they wanted to be a part of it, then they could either turn up to practice or give me a call and we'd talk about it. So as I said, some of those players have taken that up, other players haven't, and that's perfectly fine. But as I said, that door's still open, and we can discuss it if we need to. But really pleased with the group that we've got at the moment. They're doing a really great job in terms of handling the workload that we're throwing at them and the things technically that we're trying to teach them. As I said, we've still got a lot of work to do and a long way to go. I guess we've got 8 to 10 weeks left before our first game, I think. So still a lot of work to be done in that time, but you're really excited about where we're headed and I guess bouncing back from last year, trying to get the program back where it should be.
Who hasn't taken up the offer to come back, mate, or has decided not to come back?
Yeah, so at this stage, the only players I think that aren't returning from last year or that haven't trained with us yet are Ellie Collins, Taylor Roberts and Maddie Garrick, obviously, who's interstate. So I think without being 100% familiar with the playing list last year at this point in time, pretty much every other player has come back and joined the team. So,
do you know what Ellie and Taylor are doing, being locals, I guess? Are they...
I can't say I'm 100% sure. well, there were some discussions, and I won't go into those individual discussions right now, but as I said, the door is and was always open for them to be a part of it. But I wasn't going ahead to be chasing anyone. It was more about, for me, players putting their hands up to say, we want to be a charger. We want to play for the team, play for the club, and then the rest can be worked out after that for me. So that's kind of where it's at the moment. And again, if it ends up that Taylor and Ellie aren't part of the program, then I think that'll be disappointing from a local standpoint. But that's okay. They've got to make choices for what's best for them. And we'll do the same as a team and a club.
And Maddie's not coming back?
No, at this stage, I think she'll be playing somewhere in Victoria, which I think most of the Australian players are sort of tending to look to stay in their home states for the winter this year, obviously with COVID and other things happening. And so, that's kind of the way it's looking at the moment.
What about WNBL players? You got any in there?
No, so at this stage we're looking to sign another American, and at this point that'll probably be all that we do at this stage, because I think from the outset my focus has been really on that development phase of resetting the program a little bit and giving the local younger players a chance to develop and get some opportunities, and then the recruiting side of it's more about, as I said, filling the gaps in terms of what we have from a skill set perspective, but also providing them with players that will give them leadership and protection out on the floor when they get out there on a Friday night.
What's your message to Shana Thompson being over the summer?
Let's just work hard. I think everyone here in Hobart is pushing for Shana to get herself back to the level, playing WNBL, which she's shown at practice here that she's absolutely capable of, but it's more about, I guess, getting her in a situation where she's comfortable and confident that she can work hard all the time. And I think she's at the stage now where she should be trying to be a leader in this group, and she's taking steps towards that. But for myself and my coaching staff, our focus is for every player, just to help them get the best out of themselves. And for Shana, that's getting her back to the WNBL. So that's the conversation that we've had, and that's what we're pushing for.
Do you know you're starting for? You have 2 Americans and then
2 Americans locked in, and the rest of it's all up in the air. It'll be based on how they train over the next 10 weeks. So,
and what sort of expectation? What's your goal this year? Winning the championship.
Yep.
I mean, is that out of the question given where you're coming from?
Oh no, I don't think so. Look, everyone starts the season with that goal, and we're no different. And I'm a competitive guy. I'm not coming into this thinking, oh, let's just go through a 0-22 season, I can tell you that. But I guess my focus is to make sure that we're getting, the accountability and the hard work factor right. We'll play a style of basketball that will keep us in games and allow us to be competitive. And then, the rest will take care of itself. I think we've got enough talent with 2 imports coming in and what we've got locally that we'll still be able to score enough points to win games, but it's more the little bits and pieces, the 1%ers that I think the team probably weren't able to do last year that will be the difference this year in terms of us competing for wins and losses. But as I said, you come into the season every year thinking and wanting to win that championship, and we're no different. But obviously have some realism in terms of where we're coming from. But we will definitely be aiming to win every single game that we play, and there's no reason with the quality of imports that we're looking to bring in and the local talent that we've got that we can't do that. So, yeah.
Do you feel you're a better coach coming this time around? Have you learned?
Yeah.
Since you were here last time, I guess?
Yeah, absolutely. I think learn to be, a little bit calmer and a little bit even, emotionally, particularly. I think towards the end of my tenure last year, as my expectations rose, I suppose I rode the highs and lows a little bit too much, and that obviously does have an impact on the playing group. So I think my focus this time around is try to be a little bit more even in terms of not getting too high or too low, and just focusing on the little things for them and let them work it out a little bit more themselves. Obviously there will be times, and there has been a couple of times so far where I've had to get a little bit grumpy, but I think for the most part I've definitely improved in that area, and I think that's going to be the major difference in terms of the technical side of the game, I think not a lot's changed since I left, and so that kind of stuff I think is going pretty well, and the development in the players is really showing that. So, yeah.